There you. Oh, we're live. Good evening, America.
Saturday
Yeah,
Night
live
Live.
from Los Angeles. Yep, it's another
Live,
Saturday Night
live,
Live. Oh, we just
live
popped
from.
up on my phone.
Oh yeah, I just see. This is the first time it ever popped up on my phone, bro. That was the
Oh
first time it
yeah,
ever popped up. On my phone. Yeah, ever. That never did
yeah,
before. I never did before. Like
mm,
they've been holding our shit back or something. Like they've been throttling our shit.
yeah. And the numbers just keep rising, though. Even the
Yeah,
back, even the
Islam, Mo, Islam. Yeah.
mm, yeah. I want to talk some more about that great attractor. There's another video that I want.
Oh yeah, do the mind.
It's a 4 minute video on YouTube. It's called Lanikia, Laniak, Kea, our home
Okay, we can do
supercluster.
that.
Okay, it's
All
only
right,
four
do the mantra.
minutes and 11 seconds.
All right, do the mantra first.
Oh yeah, mantra time. All right. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness, of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. It's now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now being and becoming the great primordial dragon god son Kundalini flame. Now, whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, the Lord Aminel Drakra, the hidden priestly grandmaster magi, the dragon god son king and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god son kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, being and becoming our own Grandmaster Mother Dragon God Son Light Beam Mind Ship now opening up a supermassive black hole, folding this time and space continuum, returning back to our original primordial beginning, returning back to our original primordial station and original primordial DNA blueprint before creation and humanity and before the fall of our primordial soul, renewing our dark matter, dark energy souls, reabsorbing our original primordial essences, reigniting the divine spark back to its original primordial charge, recharging our infinite soul back with the great mother dragon goddess queen, being and becoming something brand new that's never been, being and becoming one with the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into physical realization, actualization of form as we will and command it to be now, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction to the multi universe created by the lower multi-dimensional archonic demiurge, angelic, and demonic energies that slayed our primordial souls before creation, using our primordial energy to create this light and energy extraction matrix, imprisoning our souls, keeping us ignorant to our true higher selves. So it can feed off of our light through this wicked worldly system until now, because now's the time of their fall. as our new higher primordial dark matter, dark energy self, return back to this creation from our primordial beginning, traveling through a supermassive black hole in our Grandmaster Mother, Dragon God, Sun, Light Beam, Mind Ship, Merkaba, now ripping through and tearing holes into the space-time continuum, circling all of the corners of the earth, awakening all of the holy divine sparks at once. Now, all shedding their physical cocoons, being and becoming dark matter, dark energy, and souls emitting new primordial light. Now, all ascending up into the Grand Master Mother, Dragon God, Sun, Light Beam, Mind Ship, Merkaba, along with the infinite soul of Mother Earth and all of the infinite soul of all of her children, leaving an empty shell behind as we open up a supermassive black hole, folding out of this creation matrix as it is completely destroyed, as we are all now reunited back with the infinite all as one, now free to begin experiencing true divine love, being and becoming a new primordial universe where the earth is renewed back into something beyond description, as our souls are now free to become our own worlds as kings and queens, exploring a new, never explored universe and multiverse in peace, love, and harmony until this day of Brahma becomes the next night of Brahma through the power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be unto the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies from beyond the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies. Now complete, taking over unconsciously, judging and destroying the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies, being and becoming the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, Ashe.
So change over.
Presto change.
Okay. Okay. What's the science behind the mantra? Why do we say the mantra every show?
To direct the energy in our favor, magnetizing all our ancestral energy that's within us, all around us, and blocking out all the archonic energy.
With that said, let's go into the libation. Isis, Ashe, or Aset, Ashe.
Ashe,
Setmek,
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Osiris, Ashe.
Ashe,
Uh, Eurytian spirits, Ashe.
Heru,
Eru, Ashe. Dahuti, Ashe.
Ashe, Kingu, Ashe, Tiamat, Ashe, El Cristo Negro, Ashe, La Santísima Muerte, Ashe, Gadugo, Ashe, Lilith, Ashe,
Order out of chaos beings, Ashe.
to to our all of our past relatives, Ashe,
To all the gods known and unknown. To all of my primordial gods known and unknown, Ashe.
and all the goddesses known and unknown, Ashe.
Right.
Yeah,
No doubt.
can't forget that. That's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, this is their energy that we're bringing in. Is that energy putting them back
Yeah,
on their throne, putting them back on their throne, bro. So this show is definitely about that.
yeah, definitely about putting. Yeah, it's about Tiamat's revenge.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's the
yeah.
primordial goddess that was taken out by Marduk.
So, but also it's the mantras and the libation is like an energy of protection. The energy
Yeah.
of protection. So it opens up all of these. See, what the understanding is that all of these deities are you. These deities
Mm-hmm.
represent an aspect of you. So when you call upon them, you're activating the aspect of that energy that exists inside of you, that exists in you.
And where do these entities really come from? They come from the triple darkness of space, which is within us, the, the nothingness. From out of the nothingness come the absolute all. So, with that being the case, we can create entities or deities
Oh yeah,
with
we
our,
do.
because
Right,
we
we
created all the other ones.
right.
Yeah, and then we named all the elemental spirits. But I know firsthand the power of this chaos energy and this chaos magic. Like what I was telling you, what happened to me today, man.
Right,
People got to be
right.
careful. Yeah, because I was riding my bike home. I just got off the train by USC on Jefferson, and I crossed Figueroa, headed west on Jefferson, and there was an Amazon delivery van blocking on one side of the street, and there was another car parked right behind it, and it was just a little space between them. And on the other side, the Amazon van is ongoing traffic, so I didn't have that much space. And then I'm trying to get through the space, and then the guy that's in the car going to come and try to get in the car before I get there, I'm like, yo, hey, watch out. And he like, don't you scream at me, you motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped, came back. What the fuck you say? Who the fuck you talking to? And it just kind of escalated. And I just, you know what? Fuck this motherfucker. He don't know who he fucking with. I was getting ready to say, you know what? You need to leave me alone. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with. I just went on my way, and he's still there talking shit. And he turned on his car and make a U-turn and crash into another car and probably killed himself and the other driver. I just rolled on.
Right.
Yep.
That's basically how that shit works. Like I
Yep.
said, I had incidents like that, and people who fuck with me, they not in a good condition. They they not in a good.
No, no, I've
Condition.
seen.
They also say, be careful who you entertain. You might be entertaining a higher dimensional being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That got protections basically. That got
Mm-hmm.
protections. And it's like, oh my God, it's crazy. You don't want to fuck
Yeah,
around.
you don't want to piss one of them off, but then again, I think they kind of they know that humans right now are so effed up in the mind that they can't really take everything that humans say serious, except when it's really coming from the heart.
Well, that's the only signals and that the spiritual world actually picks up when you're in
Respond.
balance. When you're in balance with your heart and mind, it actually you can communicate. You know what I'm saying? You can
Mm-hmm.
communicate with the other side, with your ancestors, everybody. Because right now your mind is corrupted, your heart is corrupted, so your energy is vibrating at a level where you can't tune in. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can't tune in.
yeah, there's a lot of distractions, but every now and then you can get those moments where you close your eyes and meditate, where you can go beyond this realm and start receiving download or information, especially from the ancestors. And when I say ancestors, I'm talking about the shit that's in our DNA. And what's in our DNA was probably the memories left over from all of the past lives that the soul incarnated down here in other bodies and experienced the experience that those incarnations had. And so, I mean, who knows how many people my soul incarnated as prior to this, and how many other different species of mammals or plants, minerals, or whatever, etheric beings or whatever that it went through in evolution to get to where I'm at right now.
Right, and all the karma is you carry a karma with you. You carry all
Yeah,
that. And all karma
and
is all all of those past lives, what did you bring with you from other life to the other life? Like if you brung like a lot of negative energy from one life, it's gonna carry you on to the next life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
so
but there's a lot of knowledge though, and also, yeah,
right,
there
that's
might be lessons that
karma
I
is a lesson. Karma is a lesson that you carry
yeah,
from soul to journey. It's a lesson. It's a lesson,
yeah. Uh-huh.
right?
And each life you burn off the old karma, or you work off that karma, and, try not to create new karma, or you want to create good karma. You want to create the
Point.
karma that is going to, when your soul incarnate in the next um, life or whatever, that it takes on that positive karma that you built up in each life as well.
No doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt.
especially if you in past life your soul was, into the mysteries and was heavily into meditation, chi, and all of the occult sciences, then
Well, get your karma in the sense of you're you're going to carry a little bit of awareness in that genetic memory to the next, and it's going to be there. But what happens is you're going to have to gather that back up eventually. Like you're going to see signs all your life as you're a kid. I know a lot of people they felt they was kind of special growing up, and they
hmm
felt like there was something out of whack as it pertained to basically. Um, what you mean? What's the word I'm looking for? Incorporating and assimilating to society. They couldn't assimilate. They could. They wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't
yeah,
assimilate.
it was too artificial.
Those,
It was
right.
too
Those
artificial.
right. Those people right there are the ones who are carrying on the light from one uh,
hmm
from one life.
Incarnation to the next, from
Yeah.
generation to generation. Yeah,
Right. But they gotta from every life, from one life to another, you gotta discover it again within yourself.
they no matter what, they'll always end up in a position of gathering knowledge.
Right. 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 Right.
They'll
All
always end up in the science.
right. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, because they carry that from one life to another. They carry
Yeah,
it carries on,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
hmm
then it becomes that what I was saying last week about cultivating your energy, right? You cultivate your energy in different life. This is what karma, the whole karma is. You cultivating your energy from one life to the next. You
Yeah,
cultivate, and
and
it has to do with. It's not necessarily referred. I mean, like they refer to it as sin. And you broken rules. No, it's how would you devote it to yourself? How would you, in your own self, your self development, so that you
yeah,
can
your evolution, the
right,
evolution, yeah, your evolutionary process, and just all aspects of your life, how your soul can grow in many different situations. That's why it experienced many different incarnation and many different lives and many different personalities and many in both sexes as well.
listen. That information is on another realm of existence. That knowledge is actually fuel. It's actually energy. It's actually, I mean, especially
Oh
the
yeah,
incarnation. The incarnate when you incarnating over all the time, that's built up energy that can be harnessed in other dimensions, in other realms of
you're right.
existence.
And then on top of that, you throw in the shit. I mean, this from the secret doctrine, the seven root races, along with the seven sub races within each root races, and how many billions of years it takes to complete all seven root races and the sub races. That goes along so well with the theory of the great attractor.
What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up?
Oh, Watts, California. Okay.
Yeah, Watson,
Yeah,
California.
that because I believe the all these galaxies, clusters of galaxies, are going through the universe, and um, they're all being pulled to a certain location, which is the Great Attractor, and eventually they all get sucked into that. Whatever, who knows what happens after that? You know, it can. I guess it continues to evolve and go to another stage, but I believe the soul knows about this and it knows how long it has to go. I mean, it takes for this journey to occur. And within this journey, it has, it has to reach a certain level of evolution and development before we get to that point, back to the 0 point.
Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was trying to get this stuff. This is my functioning right now. I was trying to get the email from myself that I sent to myself with these pictures.
Hmm.
Remember I sent you about the flat Earth,
Oh, yeah, the flat Earth.
right? And of
Yeah,
course, I don't subscribe to the flat Earth person. I
yeah.
just see some of the I see some of what the flat earthers are saying. It fits with my idea, my theory of the matrix or whatever, because the whole idea is based on this book that was written. I forgot the dude who was written, but it was about Admiral Byrd,
Hmm.
and his journeys to
Expedition.
Antarctica, his journeys to
Hmm.
Antarctica, and what he's seen. And someone wrote a book about all of his adventures, and what was they expanded on all of the stuff, the eyewitness accounts of the actual dome. They actually seen the dome where it's basically we're covered by an actual dome, but it's really like a metaphysical, spiritual thing.
It's well, Dr. Phil Valentine touched on that, and he said it's hydrogen. It's like water. It's different stages of water
Right. It's just
because
like what
we,
you're saying
we
about the gateway. What was the name of the Stargate movie? It's the
yeah,
same. It's the same principle
yeah.
because when
But
you
not
go,
only that, but at the bottom of the ocean
uh-huh.
there are lakes, salt lakes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and if you get
See,
a rock and throw it,
see,
the
see.
rock will it will not sink into the water because the water is so heavy.
Why? Because you seeing a dimensional phenomenon right there, a bleed into between dimensions right there. You're seeing
Yeah.
a bleed in between dimensions. You're seeing a dimensional phenomenon right there, a
Yeah.
multi-dimensional phenomenon. See, you're
So
right.
yeah, so
So
that's what the dome is sort of like. It's water that
right.
you can't penetrate
See, but the
through.
thing about it is these waters are portals. This is why
Yeah,
you're seeing a lot of these UFOs are coming out from the water. They
they
coming out
come
from
in.
the water. Why? Because the water is where the multi-dimensional portals exist. Not only
Yeah,
that,
but they're.
but
Yeah,
this is how they describe going from one landmass to the other landmass, because you can't just travel there physically. You can't just travel. You got to go through dimensions. Like my
you gotta go. You
so
gotta go
my
through a
original,
portal.
theory is correct. They're basically confirming my original theory, where I said that the planet is not a sphere or it's not flat. It's multidimensional.
Yeah, it's multidimensional.
It's multidimensional. So it's
Yeah,
flat. It's spherical in some aspects. It's whatever. I mean, it's so
infinite,
multidimensional.
an
It's multi.
infinite flat plane or a sphere or squares. It. I mean,
It's, it's
it's
multidimensional.
it's
And guess what?
multidimensional.
How do we know it's multidimensional? It's because our minds are multidimensional.
We're multidimensional. Yeah, we're
Yes,
multidimensional.
yes, yes. So
Yeah.
now going into the theory that I was saying is that there is no outer space,
Mm-hmm.
right? There is no. This is my theory. There is no outer space, right? And the cold thing about it is NASA already knows everything we say. They're a part of the what they call the custodians, which are it's the same as the archons. The
Yeah.
custodians
Yeah.
and the archons are the same
The
thing.
same energy. Same
They're
energy.
they're the same
Yeah,
energy.
and they all are part of the military industrial complex.
Wow, because that's why I was just about to go, right? Because this is why they had access to the ship because they had made deals with the archons or
Yeah.
the custodians. They
Or they
made deals.
might be the
They
archons.
they
They
are
might
agents
be.
of the archons, bro. They agents of the archons.
They're agents of the archons. They're being and becoming archons. The
Right.
archons, I think the archons are already here running the shit through people, through certain people,
Of course.
because
Of course.
they're, yeah, because they're multi-dimensional beings, so they can.
See, now you're going into you spoiling the rest of my theory. You're spoiling it because that's where I was
Oh,
going next.
sorry, I
No.
apologize.
That's good. That's good because it's
Yeah,
showing me it's the spiritual, it's the spirituality because when we vibrating on a certain level, everybody's gonna vibrate on that level.
hmm
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like a lot of times, like the brother that's on here now, he be saying like, oh, they got our energy, they took our style or whatever. No, we vibrating on the same energy. We
yeah.
vibrating
We're all on the same website. The
right,
internal website.
vibrating on the same energy, and that's like when you vibrating on that, anybody can pick up that frequency.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, going back to my theory,
hmm
there is no outer space. There is no outer space. There is just the multidimensional reality that exists within us, right? So, in the theory, and it kind of fits into my theory. The whole book about what they wrote about Admiral Byrd, it fits into the book where they basically get details of different land masses that's beyond our dome. That's beyond our dome. They got other ones beyond our dome, and they're all in domes. They're all domes.
Well, do this. Type in 33 continents. Map of 33 continents.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I got a map. I got that map. I got that map that you're talking about. And
Oh, okay.
it's a more detailed one, but I couldn't get the picture to come up, man. So that
Oh, I can
you know
show you how to get the just. Yeah, I can. I got it up. I sent it to you. I texted it to you.
I'm about to show you from my phone though. So that's how I'm gonna do that. You said 30 what?
33 map of the 33 continents. Map of the 33 continents.
Okay, image. Are you talking
Okay,
about
go click on images. Are you on
image?
images? Okay. All right. That's some real map. The one at the top. That right. Yeah, that right there on the top left, upper left, and then later, further down, there should be. Oh, click. Okay, click on the map with all the continents. Yeah, click on that one.
Yeah. This is exactly how the one that I had is kind of describing the other firmaments or the other domes.
The other
right?
districts, they call them districts. But now, if you look at the other districts, that they're larger than ours, and the continents are more larger than our continents. And not only that, but they have two suns and two moons, and they're moving counterclockwise to ours.
Okay, but look, but that's not giving justice. Kind of, this is the one that I'm about to find it right now.
Okay.
Right, I think right. The whole all of physical reality, right,
Mm-hmm.
is is their matrix, man. Their matrix. All of physical reality is the matrix that they're creating through us.
Well, all reality is the matrix. In order for reality to exist, it has to be in some type of framed in some type of matrix.
Well, no, all of reality is actually chaos.
Okay, well, in order for chaos to express itself,
It has to come into order. Yes, I
yeah,
realize that.
yeah, and so the
That's
great,
only that's only for those who are vibrating at a certain level to be able to perceptual reality. Remember, there is the dark or the divine darkness where you go beyond consciousness, right? That's
Mhm.
another aspect of our existence that we got to break into. Is like beyond
all conscious
consciousness. Beyond
is
consciousness
all consciousness.
is basically the breakdown. Beyond consciousness is the breakdown of the matrix. You break, you literally break down the whole matrix beyond consciousness, brother. You, I'm talking
Well,
about
beyond
within
wouldn't
yourself.
wouldn't that, okay, wouldn't beyond consciousness be sort of like all consciousness to be a sort of like all conscious, be conscious of all consciousness, but at the same time unconscious to, well, uh, this time is different. We're sending back to conscious unity, so it, it's going to be a whole totally different story in conscious unity, because we're coming out of unconscious unity and into separation, and now ascending back into conscious unity. So um, I don't know if we figured out the right language for what where our evolution is heading at this time, or figured out the right language to describe the direction where our evolution is headed consciously.
Okay, this is the map right here.
Okay, yeah, I got that. Hmm.
See, and this
Yeah.
is a greater view of it, like a wider scale view of all of the other domes. See other
Hmm.
circles, those are other
Yeah.
domes beyond the
Those are.
one we in. Like this is our
So
dome.
we're we're
This is the
all in
matrix.
this water. Yeah. So
Right, right. But it's different levels of that water expressing itself as a matrix or as the chaotic
create.
reality around it. Right?
Yeah.
It's a break. So yes, it's literally it breaks down to the fact that it's water is the facilitator to go from one realm to another. Right? It's the
Hmm.
water is the facilitator of that process. So this is where the firmament come on. This is where the water, the what they say, the firmament and the water is above and shit, and that
Yeah.
I
The
described in the
water's above. The water's in
right,
the heaven,
right.
and the
Because
water's on there. The water's
if
below.
anything, that's what space is. Like if you go, if
Hmm.
you was actually to go to what we refer to as space, you will be floating in
Hmm.
some type of multi-dimensional, hyperdimensional water.
No, actually, you'll hit another ocean up there, and you'll be. I think it'll be another world that would
But you
appear
cannot
like it's upside down to us, and we're
you cannot
upside down to it.
and you
Hmm?
cannot do it. You cannot do it physically. It's not. No, you got to astral project. You're gonna have to astral
Okay.
project. Not do it physically.
Well,
You can
well,
do it. I mean,
well,
you can develop Al Kaaba and travel through it.
okay, but the waters above is probably another ocean, like our ocean down here. But when they look up into the sky, they see a blue sky, and the blue sky they see is probably our oceans.
Wow, that's deep. Or
Yeah.
or we could be. We see the thing about it is the multidimensional reality is basically opens our mind to processing. Like, what if we are micro to like we could be like particles in a dome, right? That's created for us to exist within that small. But based on our perception, we can grow ourselves. Like, remember I talked about the giants and stuff. I think all of
Hmm.
this is based. I think all of these mythologies, all of these uh, fantasies, they literally exist. But it
Oh yeah.
depends on where they. It depends on where all of
The
humanity
fairy
is,
world.
right? Because if look, my thing is all of humanity is in agreements with this. That's why it's happening.
Well, no, humanity right now is in the agreement of death. They all agree to be dead to the spirit world. They
Right.
complete they I mean to function in humanity means you must be completely dead to the spiritual world or any world outside of the 3D world. And you must only be I understand here and now, but here and now all worlds exist here and now simultaneously. So
But
it's
that's the
just
only way
not.
you ever be able to get it is if you expand beyond your three dimensional orientations. You have
Yeah,
to
well,
within
this humanity, which is the enemy, will not allow you to do that.
I mean, actually, you can transcend that aspect. It's just we're not transcending it. We're not cultivating the energy. We're not disciplining. We're not, you know what I'm saying, doing the work, the great work within. It's like it's an inner work. You have to do the great work.
Well,
Is the inner, you have to do it. And
well,
the thing about it is, the more you do the inner work, the more your vibration extends. Now you,
it, yeah,
like the stuff that we talk about, people are going to call us crazy. Like we say all the time in our show, they're going to call us crazy and say, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, but you're already programmed to react and reference a reality that was programmed to for you. You're not
yeah.
you're not
Meanwhile,
you're not programming your own thinking.
but meanwhile, that program that you've been programmed to accept is breaking down. That reality is breaking down.
But this is why they can't. It doesn't suffice anymore. This is why the more people are fighting it, the more they come into the dark side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what I'm
Yeah.
all I mean by the dark side is the hidden stuff, the stuff that you don't understand, and you just don't understand. Now it becomes dark.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But once you understand it, it's no longer dark. It's light. Yeah. To create light, you got to go to the dark side. To find light, you got to go to the dark side. That's the only place you're going to find light. You got to go into the dark side and uncover the things that are hidden and make them no longer hidden. And once they're no longer hidden and they're no longer unknown and they become known, it's no longer dark. It's light.
You are light now.
Yeah. So to get the
Simple.
light, you got to go to the dark. Light is darkness too. Light, shit. Light is invisible.
We are darkness is eternal. You cannot
Hmm?
get away from it.
Hmm?
Darkness is eternal. Darkness is eternal.
Darkness,
You're never going to get away from
darkness,
darkness. No, you're not
darkness
going
and
to get away from the
space,
darkness.
and
You're
space,
not about to get away from the darkness, man. You're not about to
and
get
you'll
away from the
never
darkness.
change space. And you'll never change space.
What? You are the light in the universe. Whatever light that's out
Yeah.
there, that's you. Because you are you. The thing about it is perceivable reality, conscious reality, right, is a reversal of polarity. That's like matter and antimatter, right? When you perceive in reality, that means you on the other side. When you can intuitively exist in existence, then that's on the spiritual end, or that's on the higher vibrational end. That's what they refer to as heaven. You know what I'm saying? When you heighten your vibration. But guess what? The thing about it is heaven and hell are complementary forces. They complement each other.
Well, yeah. There's heaven and hell is part of the chakra system. Okay, hell is the root chakra. That's where the fire has to come from. All right. And the fire has to reach the crown chakra, which is the heavenly gates, the pearly gates, which
Also,
ignites the first.
you got to realize that what they're referring to as Lucifer, Satan, we're referring to the potency that. Okay, let's go into this, right? Because you go into the word sulfur, right? And you know sulfur is like a binding element. It's a binding element. It binds other elements. It makes them
Mm-hmm.
complex elements. Sulfur. Sulfur, the element sulfur or the molecule sulfur, it actually is a bonding agent. It bonds other molecules to each other,
Okay,
right?
so uh-huh.
So sulfur, you got to understand that we're talking about the energy, the heat energy, or the expressible heat energy of the universe that's expressed on this side. Remember, I just gave you the difference of this side of consciousness, and then you got other side where you intuitive, where we're talking about the dark side. So on this side, that it operates oppositely on the other side is what I'm saying. So
Okay, so you're talking. Mm-hmm.
that fusion, right? Because
Okay.
sulfur is Lucifer,
Yeah.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
So that's the bonding energy.
Yeah,
You
well,
understand
yeah.
me? That's
Well,
that's the binding in the molecular world. Sulfur molecules bind other molecules. So
okay.
what we're saying, what we're doing, what we're talking about is the energy that's actually
It sounds like an
making
alchemical.
it's
Okay.
alchemistry,
Yeah.
alchemistry.
Yeah, it's alchemical. Bringing all the parts together.
Right? So it
Yeah.
can realize itself. So it can realize itself on
Yeah,
other levels.
that's called forming the philosopher's stone.
Right?
Yeah. And
Right.
I think
It's
a
all
really good way, but
it's
you,
mental. It's mental
but you
alchemy.
see, the key to all of this alchemy, the key to it is chi, and through chi, what you want to be gathering is this dark energy, this dark cloud of energy coming in you to help make your soul or your sun, your soul more massive.
Right.
Okay, because the more massive your soul is, then you know, should more things, it can attract more things to it, and it can become, you know, you have a lot of shit revolving around you. Everything revolves around you.
I mean, that's already innate. That's already innately happening when you were born. It just we get caught into humanity, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. Well, we're coming out. We're going into the golden age now. So coming out of the Piscean age. So that way of thinking is no longer useful. And the golden age, you know, means we're in the, you know, Aquarius. It's about knowing, being, and becoming.
it's about becoming what you know.
Yeah, being and becoming.
I was talking about the flowing of energies and how order is chaos and chaos is order, and I mean,
Well, it's not even about being and becoming what you know. It's about being and becoming what you really is. It's about being. It's about beingness. The beingness is what is the substance that the gods are, and archangels and, you know, high entities and deities are made from. The beingness. They're not beings, but it's the beingness.
well, I get what you're saying. The primordial, even in the cosmology of the flat Earth dome cosmology, it says that this whole thing is created by the source, and we are the source because we have direct connection to the source. I'm like I said, it plays out at the same way I've been theorizing it. It's playing out
Mm-hmm.
in that cosmology, in that during that cosmology where we always, even the ancestors always depicted our existence as a dome, and we exist within the dome, right? Like I said, the reason why we're um, perceived, because it's all a perception thing mostly. It's not naturally actually happening. It's a perception thing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to master your mind. Once you master your mind, you master the matrix. Now the archons don't have any, like the last Matrix movie talked about everything I'm saying right now. You got to watch the last Matrix movie. This is all a construct of your mind. So once you master your mind, you master everything around you. Period. The most
See, here's the thing. Here, okay, that's all
all of the
great and
knowledge.
everything. That's all great and everything, but I believe when you're mastering your mind, or when you're lifting your consciousness, you're going to come to this point to where you want to gain prior gnosis. You want to know what was the original thought that brought all of this into being. What was that original eternal thought? Because from that thought, all of this is being and becoming.
Right.
And each one of us is an aspect of that thought.
Uh,
Hmm?
we were there. We were there, but we are not the thought. We were there when it came when it was conceived. We were there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because we were all, but we wasn't the
yeah.
thought. Like in our science, it says we are thoughts of Allah manifested in flesh.
Mm-hmm.
It said we are thoughts of Allah manifested in flesh, right? But also in our science, we represent Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. So we can't be the thought. We can't. We was there when it was thought of, though. We were there, so we wasn't. See, we if we caught we
Well,
get caught.
I mean, okay.
If we was
You ever heard the word becoming flesh? I mean, y'all can. The Bible it said the word became flesh.
right, that's you're
I
talking
mean,
about shifting vibrational based on the perception, based on that in that person's level of consciousness at the time or vibration. Because it's not just
hmm
consciousness, it's vibrational cultivation. It's way deeper than just being consciously aware. No, that just higher your vibration. What also you have to cultivate your energy around you and not allow, like you saying, with the great attractor energy, and you have all that embodied in you. So you have to manage all of who you are, like we just talked about. We are universal. We are
well,
multidimensional.
when you tap into being and becoming the attractor instead of being pulled by an attractor,
You're not just
uh,
the attractor.
huh?
You're not just the attractor. You're not just the attractor. That's just an
No.
aspect of who you
Yeah, that's just an aspect. But however, that is a great aspect, though.
are. That's all. That's really the self-realization on a whole nother level. That's what the great attractor actually is. Because what is it
well,
observing? What
that
is it taking in? What
well,
is it
that's
taking
really
in?
going way out of the box. That's
Taking
going
in
way,
is
way out of the box. That's going out
what
the
is it?
galactic box. Hmm?
What is the what is the great attractor? Can you hear me? Because you
Yeah, I can hear
okay.
you.
What is the great attractor collecting? What is it? What is it doing? It's collecting itself. It's
Yeah, it's
it's
collecting all the galaxies.
it's collecting itself. It's
And but then, yeah,
reviewing
okay,
it.
but I want to
It's
show you this. I want to show you more of it. I want to show you more. Before you
okay.
go into that, you should probably watch this other video because it shows you more. We only got a little bit. Like there's more to it. Whole lot more. You should see this. A whole lot more.
The
Hmm.
attractor, the attractor is an aspect of ourselves. So I'm trying to give you the message of what
Yeah,
it's doing is
I established that on the last episode. Yeah, that's on the last episode. We know that, but I just want to show you that there's so much more extension to it. How there's more to it, and I think you probably should see it. Okay.
okay, yeah.
All right.
The greater attractor literally is an aspect of ourselves, showing us an aspect of our energy right now, right? Which is
Uh-huh.
what? Inventory, gathering all of who you are, what you is. What is the great attractor doing? It's attracting
Yeah.
itself. It's it's attracting
Okay.
itself. It's reviewing itself. It's self-realization. That's the whole message. It's self-realize.
Yeah.
It's the gathering itself up.
Okay. And okay. Now let's see this other part because there's another part of it that's doing something else.
Okay, what?
Hmm? Oh, okay.
What is it?
It's called. Let me go right back there again. Laniakea, Laniakea, and the two dots, the semicolon, um, our home supercluster. Laniakea. E-A.
L-I-N.
No, L-A-N-I-A. I-A, with I-A. K-E-A. Okay, and then the two dots, the semicolons, our home supercluster. Okay, and our home supercluster. R-O-U-R, home. You got R-A-R-E, supercluster.
Somewhere in the universe is a small blue planet.
Go click on video. Video. Yeah, click on that one.
Which one?
The top
This
one.
one?
The first video. Or go to, yeah, you can play it on YouTube too. You know, you can go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and we'll, oh, there we go.
Somewhere in the universe is a small blue planet, the third rock from a star called the Sun, just one of billions of stars in a spiral galaxy known as the Milky Way. But where in the universe is the Milky Way? A team of scientists gathered
Can
data
you
on more than
enlarge it?
the galaxies that surround us. They mapped each galaxy's position and movement in space. And, for the first time, they've shown that the Milky Way is part of a much larger system of galaxies, a supercluster that they have named Laniakea. The Milky Way is nested in the furthest reaches of this structure, on the outskirts. The entire universe can be seen as an intricate network of galaxies, a cosmic web. Some areas are almost empty, dark voids. Others are densely packed with galaxies in regions known as superclusters. Superclusters are the biggest.
Now they don't know what the hell they talking about. Talking about is this empty and dark. There are so much multi-dimensional uh, existence and frequencies that exist right there. There are pocket dimensions. There are overtones that exist slightly beyond human consciousness and other beings' consciousness, and that's what
Yeah,
they don't realize.
yeah. Well, we
Founded universe, but scientists have struggled to define where one ends and another begins. To map our home supercluster, a team led by Brent Tully at the University of Hawaii studied the motions of the galaxies
can you
around us.
enlarge it on the screen.
Even though the entire universe is expanding rapidly, gravity is also at work, pulling against this acceleration. By discounting cosmic expansion, the team worked out which galaxies are being pulled towards us, shown in blue, and which are being pulled away, shown in red. This enabled them to create a map of cosmic flows, the paths that galaxies migrate along, tugged at a tiny pace by the force of gravity.
So the one behind it is pulling away. I
They
mean,
cannot be in
one
any
is
way
pulling in, and the other one is
universe.
everything's look like it's coming
Delving into
out.
our home cluster, you can see that most galaxies are being pulled towards a dense center. This is known as the Great Attractor. Our galaxy is among those sliding towards this patch of space, which dominates our region of the universe. Let's take a different view. Each circle represents a galaxy. Again, we can see most galaxies being pulled towards the Great Attractor in the direction of the arrows. Between the Great Attractor and us, the Milky Way, there's a relatively empty area, a blue void. And next to us is Virgo, a large and dense cluster whose bright galaxies have been observed from Earth for centuries. Until now, astronomers grouped us, the Milky Way and its surrounding galaxies, with Virgo and nearly 100 other clusters in a supercluster that stretches 100 million light years across. But using this new technique, we can see that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This cluster of clusters is merely an image of a much larger supercluster, more than 100 times bigger and more massive. But how did the team know how to redraw the boundaries of this cosmic map? Here's our supercluster in black and a neighboring structure, Perseus Pisces, in red. Scientists defined the boundary as the points where the flows of galaxies diverge, like water dividing at a watershed. This is where neighboring structures shear apart. This is the first clear definition of a supercluster. Laniakea means immeasurable heaven in Hawaiian, a fitting name for the vast community of galaxies that we are a part of. So now we know that on the edge of a supercluster called Laniakea, in a galaxy called the Milky Way, around a star we call the Sun, there is a small blue planet, our home.
So the name came from the indigenous people. Again,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I was like, what language is that? Like I
Hawaii.
That's a language that's an indigenous group, right? So they had privy to this intergalactic science and shit, or this interdimensional science, right?
Well,
interdimensional understanding or awareness.
And plus, they did the research in Hawaii too.
Right, but the thing about it is, with all of their research and all of their resources, I mean, they still don't got a clue, bro. They still don't got a clue. Because my thing is, these people that we refer to as primitive have more information about this multidimensional reality than they do.
Yeah, okay, but now after just seeing this, after now you're seeing Perseus Pisces on the other side of Laniakea. So there's Laniakea is on one side, and then you have Perseus Pisces on another side. I mean that, and this is inwardly. I mean, then that's a lot of energy to tap into.
Right. See,
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. That energy right there is inside of us, and we need to access it.
So like you said, yeah, like I finally allowed you to express that, use that energy to pull the things into us that we need to help us along our evolutionary path, and also to not just help us along our evolutionary path, but to help speed it up as well. We don't have
this phenomenon is part of the evolution. Us being aware of it alone shows that is the step to the evolution.
Yeah,
like the awareness alone of things that we're being aware of, we're being privy of, or we're just remembering is a part of our evolution. It's all a part of the evolution. And with that, we got to go on and end the show so I can get ready for my next show, brother.
Okay, no problem. It's been a fun hour and 4 minutes.
Right. You got any last word?
Well, hey, man, I think we've been calling a lot of things. I go back on our old shows and listen, and a lot of those things are coming to pass. A lot of things, and some of the things we said were very, very scary, especially about this grand solar maximum that we're in and how it's going to affect us for the next 11 years. and I think that has a lot to do with all of the economic policies, with them trying to go green and all this other bullshit. I think that has a lot to do with what's going on, this grand solar maximum that we're going to be in. And also, we have videos in the past where we showed those spheres that are orbiting around the sun. That shit's still there, and it's still affecting us, and it's still affecting the sun. And these solar flares are are going off the chain, but they're keeping a lot of that shit hush hush more than they did before, which means this shit is starting. To it's getting ready to go to another level.
Our consciousness is evolving. We're remembering our DNA, junk DNA is coming online,
Hmm.
superpowers,
Yes.
right? So as a result, things that were already there, they were there already. They was already there. We
Yeah.
just now becoming aware of the shit now. This is the multidimensional nature of reality that we actually exist. I told y'all a long time ago.
Yeah.
Most
We're coming back into where we've been on the decline. Now we're on the ascent. We're ascending, but we're going back into the shit that we descended out of. We're ascending back into. So hold on to your hats. It's uh, it's going to get crazy, and I think we're going to do a Dorothy real. I think Kansas is going to go bye bye real soon.
all right, y'all. See y'all next weekend.
Yeah. Okay.